So I saw this extremely hilarious tweet interaction exchange thread on twitter.com yesterday. I started to laugh out loud for approximately 4 seconds until I realized it wasn't that funny, but it was still pretty funny. So here we have an interaction. We have Jen Perelman, who ran as something for something in Florida, to my understanding, and she hosts some sort of show. And she is deep within the Force the Vote network. And so she made this tweet here where she's basically trying to, like, beg her fans, her friends, her fellow podcasters. She's begging them to stop talking about Force the Vote. Not only does it make people look ridiculous, but it was a specifically timed political strategy that was 9 months ago. This was 9 months ago, folks. So she's basically saying get over it. And so there's a lot of extremely good replies. So she even replied 4 minutes ago. Holy shit. Okay, folks. 4 minutes ago. So, okay, now she's responding to criticism. Anyway, so she says, I strongly supported Force the Vote. To everyone who did and is still harping on it, it's time to move on. There are so many more political battles ahead of us. Let's look forward, not backward. And so then she's telling people to fight for specific legislation. And so let's read. This is an insult to people who worked so hard. Again, Force the Vote is the QAnon of, I don't even know. I don't like to call it the left because I don't believe these people are left-wing. They don't really hold left-wing values. They just kind of believe in, like, left-wing economic principles for the most part. But this is still pretty good. Sorry. No? Are there people being too emotional about it? Sure. But there are a billion ways in which it is relevant to all of those future political battles you are referring to, and flushing it down the memory hole is a mistake. Oh my god. Oh my god. This would only make sense if the squad has since then showed they're looking for new ways to leverage their power, but they're just doing the same old while shit gets worse and worse. Now again, Cory Bush recently pressured the Biden administration into extending the eviction moratorium. They've been using their vote on the infrastructure bill. Do I believe they should have leveraged it better for the $15 minimum wage? Yes, I agree with that. But, you know, they're not beyond reproach, of course. But that's the problem with these people, is it makes having a nuanced critique of the squad very difficult, because then you have these like flailing weirdos. They should be using the thin margin in the House to threaten every piece of legislation until their demands are met. What are you talking about? And then we have the official Force the Vote, I guess as official as it gets, Force the Vote Twitter account. Appreciate your support, but we can't stop discussing it as long as progressives hold the balance of power in the House. Oh my god. And then we have this one. No moving on from a solid strategy. Again, these are all people, like, seriously, I shit you not. This reads to me the same as, like, why wasn't Trump reinstated on August 13th? Trump's going to come back into office. The election. That's what this screams to me. And there's a reason why you have, like, the Convo Couch, which is, like, you know, an election conspiracy theory podcast, being involved in Force the Vote, because they're all similar conspiracy theories, right? It's a continuously relevant strategy. Now, this is the guy who filmed Cory Bush at the Medicare for All event and then yelled at them. So, there are 118 co-sponsors for the bill in the House. Still plenty of leverage to force a vote on Medicare for All and make politicians have to explain to the public why they're opposed, then primary them. Now, this guy is also in favor of the People's Party. So, he's in favor of the People's Party, but he wants to primary Democrats? How does that work? They're choosing appeasement over pressure, so he thinks he made, like, a good quotable moment there. FTV will exist until we get a vote. Oh my god. I won't stop harping on it until ... People with power and influence stop excusing the squad for failing to use leverage when they have it. Power concedes nothing without demand. And that's the thing, is, like, these people say all this, like, semi-radical shit, and they don't realize that having, like, 2 people in Congress is not demand. Having, like, you know, thousands of people march on Washington, that's demand, right? But having, like, two people in Congress, like, say, hey, by the way, we should do this, there's no demands there. There's, like, I mean, they can demand things, but there's no power behind it, like, you know? So it's, like, it's really baffling to me. Again, it's, like, very, very reminiscent of QAnon. The Squad and Bernie find the courage to stand up against Dem leadership and use leverage. I don't even know what the fuck this guy's gonna say. But anyway, this is pretty impressive. I don't know, man. I just want to say I've been right about this the whole time. So, I mean, if anyone has been still stuck in this little conspiracy hole, you should have been watching my videos all year. I don't know what to tell you. So, yeah. Forced to vote, folks. Not looking so good.